Hey, I'm Robert Lewis, and welcome to the channel. This is a channel that is dedicated to helping you to become a better software developer, and to also to just talk about different things that we as software developers, software engineers, programmers, that we deal with on a daily basis working out here in the field. And on today, I'm going to talk to you about something that a lot of people who probably are more junior or really trying to break into the IT field ask, and that is whether or not you should have a college degree. So let's talk about it. Well, do you really need to have a college degree to be successful as a software developer? Well, let me answer that question. I would say yes and no. It really all depends on your company. But from my experience, as I've been working in the industry for over 15 years, there are a plethora of people who have been working as software developers. I've worked with an individual who is an architect who does not have a college degree. But these individuals, they were very, very bright. They could talk about different technologies. They were really stayed abreast of everything that was going on within the industry, and they could really speak, to a lot of different technologies and frameworks and practices within the software development field. So, looking at that, I would have to say no. You do not have to have a college degree to be successful as a software engineer. But I will say this, I will say that it is helpful. I know from my studies, I do have a college degree. I will say this, that a lot of my coursework was more theoretical. It wasn't a lot of hands-on. Now, we did have some projects and things that we had to work on. We did have homework assignments and things we had to turn in based on some of the things that we were discussing in classes and stuff like that. But especially a lot of the real world work that you will do if you're working for a client, if you're doing any freelance work, or if you're working for an employer. A lot of that type of coursework was, there was nothing from a coursework perspective that I can say directly was related to anything that you would actually do in a real world perspective. But a lot of the concepts and things that you will learn as far as like dealing with databases, how to approach problems, a lot of the different data structures and things that you can use within your assignments, projects, and the work that you're working on in the field. You definitely will be able to use those. And so I definitely say that a college degree is valuable from learning, being able to learn just the basics of computer science and how to approach learning a new language in general. And not only that, going to college is very beneficial because it exposes you to so many different other coursework that can be very applicable inside your career. You have deadlines, because you're definitely going to have deadlines, I think, when you're working in the field, whether you're working for a company or you're working on a freelance type of job or whatnot. You're going to have deadlines that you're going to have to meet. And so learning how to deal with the pressure, make sure you meet deadlines, and also learning how to work with other people. That's one good thing that I think that is really good about actually obtaining, working on coursework to obtain a college degree. I think that's very beneficial. But the one key thing, reason why I would say that it's really good to have a college degree, is because some employers, unfortunately, they're not going to let you inside the door. You're not going to get an opportunity to interview for the job if you do not have a college degree. But that most of the time, for most companies, that's just not the case. A lot of companies, they want to know, do you have the skills? Do you have the ability to be able to meet the needs of their company? So some places, they don't care about whether or not you have a degree or not. Now, some companies they may try to use that against you, maybe not pay you as much. But I personally think that you should not allow that to be a reason why you don't get paid what you are worth. Make sure you always get paid what you are worth. One thing I will say, whether you have a degree or don't have a degree, always be willing to negotiate. You don't have to take the first offer. And I'll probably do another video on that as well, as well, what to do when you are going through the interview process and you actually made an offer, how to handle that. But you don't necessarily have to take the first offer, and you don't have to necessarily let the fact that you don't have a degree to keep you from getting paid what you are worth. But one thing I will say, as far as about having a degree, is that some companies, I know one company I worked for, they were very adamant that they did not want you to be in management if you did not have a college degree. So you kind of have to look at, what is it that you want to ultimately do in your career. Some people, they don't want to go into management. They don't want to manage other people. All they want to do is they want to write code. They want to solve problems. So being a manager is the furthest from their mind. They don't want anything to do with that. Some people, they have aspirations and desire that they want to be a manager. One of my buddies that I went to school with, I recently ran into him at the gym, and I guess you can look at my my physique and you can tell, I work out. But anyway, yeah, I ran into him at the gym, and he told me that, he moved up into upper management, and, I said, man, congratulations. But I said, man, don't you miss writing code? He said, yeah, but I wanted to be a manager. So, so he's happy. And so you have to really figure out, what do you ultimately want to do within your career? Do you want to move into management, or do you want to continue to, write code and things of that nature? Now, there are some managers that continue to write code. I have worked with a plethora of managers who had the title of manager, but yet they still write code. But generally, the idea is that if you move into the more of a management track within your career, that, not saying that you will never write code again, but generally your job is to supervise and to make sure that deadlines are being met, and that, the general coding practices and things that have been set forth within the actual department or the IT shop that you're working in, that they are being met, and so, from a management perspective, things are a little bit differently. So the answer to that question is yes and no. Having a degree can be very beneficial. Now, one reason why I would say it can be beneficial not to have a degree is because unless you have a lot of scholarships, unless you are in some type of program where they're going to pay for your schoolwork, unless you are ex-military, and you're a veteran, and they have programs and things of that nature to help you to pay for school, you still have loans that you have to pay back and things of that nature. You have to pay back those loans, and that can be, very, very expensive to pay back, and take a long time to pay back if you have all those loans. So one thing I tell people is, no, look, you do not have to have a college degree to be a software developer. It can be beneficial in so many ways, but it can also be very beneficial from a financial perspective to learn how to code without having a degree. So with that being said, there's many ways that you can learn to be a developer without obtaining a college degree. One way that I learned to write code was I learned when I was in high school. I'm pretty sure they still use them today. The TI calculator, takes the instrument calculators. I had a TI-81. I love that calculator. And when I was in high school, we loved to play video games. And I started looking at the code and started figuring things out. And I said, well, maybe I can write some things to help me in math. And I remember I wrote a program that performed the quadratic equation that helped me with my math. And I started writing other little programs that would help me with my chemistry and some of my other sciences that required math. And I used my calculator. I programmed some things that would, some programs that would actually, perform the computation for me. At the time, I really did not understand or really realize what I was doing was called programming. I just, figured I was just doing something to help me with math. But then when I started, taking my first computer science class, CSC 145, University of South Carolina, I realized, oh man, I was programming. I didn't even really understand what I was doing when I was writing code even back then. But I started just kind of tinkering and looking at stuff that other programs that other people did. And I was able to learn how to, understand the basics of writing code from there. I'm always reading technology books. So I purchased and read a lot of books on coding outside of my college coursework. But I will tell you this, that the number one way, well, before I say that, another way that you can learn how to code without having a college degree is by going to boot camps. Now, boot camps, they can be a little bit expensive, but they're nowhere shape or form or as expensive as actually getting a college degree. Well, they shouldn't be, at least. They shouldn't be as expensive as a college degree, but you can go to get a boot camp, go through a boot camp, and that can help you to really get the skills, acquire skills that you really need really fast to become a software developer. So that's one way, another way that you can become a software developer. But in my opinion, the best way to become a software developer and not have a degree is to think of a project, go online, research, and learn how to do it. There's a lot of resources online. YouTube, you can go on YouTube. There's a lot of people out there, such as myself, who make videos concerning software development, different topics, whether it's front end, more the back end, or full stack concepts. There's a lot of different resources out there on the web that you can take advantage of to help you. There is Pluralsight. Pluralsight is a really good platform where you can go and look at videos that will help you to learn a new language, a new technology, so many different things on there. Udemy is a really good video platform, where you can purchase courses and you can stop and rewind and learn the material, learn the technology that you want to learn. And a free code camp, that's another good place to go. There's so many places online, so many people online you can take advantage of them just taking time out to teach you a new language, whether it's React, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Java, CSS, C#, Python. There's so many people online today on YouTube and all these other platforms I mentioned, that where you can go and actually learn how to write code. But apart from that, getting back to what I was saying, the number one way, in my opinion, to become a better software developer, to learn the concepts of being a software developer, to actually just really start becoming a software developer, is by thinking of an idea, something that you would like to do, and go online, research, and start tinkering, start trying to build the application that you want to make. And that's the best way. I can truly say, I learned a lot while I was in college. I would not trade my college education for anything. I believe it's been beneficial for me in my career. But I will say that from my perspective, the best thing, or the one thing that has really helped me the most, or really helped me to learn the most, to really acquire the skills that I needed to be the software developer I am now, is just trying to create what it is that you're trying to create. It could be anything, but everything that we use today is started because someone had an idea and they went to the computer, they started writing out code, and now whatever it is that we're using today, whether it's Facebook, Google, Amazon, Craigslist, it all started with an idea, and it was created by code. So I want to encourage you just to take some time out to think about, what it is that you want to create, start creating it. But I also want to encourage you, for those of you that want to be software developers, you're asking yourself, do I need to have a college degree? I would tell you no, but I will also say that it does not, it will not hurt you. I believe it can only help you, but it's not a prerequisite to becoming a software developer. So I hope you liked this video. I want to encourage you to like, share, and subscribe so that you can receive all the videos, future videos that we're going to place on the channel. And I look forward to talking to you. And I hope that this content will help you to be the software developer that you desire to be. Take care.